All right, guys, new lesson framework. This is going to be amazing. So check this out. This is only my second video. If you're brand new here, I need tons of feedback. If you've been here, love you. Love you if you're new. Tons of feedback, okay? This is going to be the best lessons I think you've ever had because I finally figured this out. So watch this. We're going to do two chords. We're going to do a G major, open chord, A minor, okay? We're going to do a G major triad, doing the A minor triad. Then we're going to do G major pentatonic. We're going to do a mode. It's just another G major scale. And then we're going to build a G major scale up here. We're going to put the whole thing together. Now check this out. This is the part where we're going to go deep, okay? Now, bear with me. We're going to have a little bit of a close-up thing to drill this in with no charts. Now, here comes the magical part. Right here, you are looking at a G major scale. Hence the notes G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. The first note, second note, third note, fourth note, fifth note, sixth note, seventh note, and also called the scale degree. This is how you build the chords, and this is what we're actually going to do. I don't know why I'm looking over at that camera when this camera's on. So, I'm told you this is going to be so killer. Watch this, okay? Then we're going to go in here and we're going to build the G major and A minor triads. I'm going to pull it from the scale. It's going to be really powerful for you to see this. You're going to go, oh, light bulb, ding, ding, ding. And then we're going to play those. Last but not least, I've already got a couple scales built. I'm going to use this orange rectangle to highlight what scale we're talking about. And then up here, we're going to build another G major scale starting on the 10th fret on the A string. Okay. So here's what we're talking about. Let's go back here. Let's actually play this scale on the guitar first. So we have the notes G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, okay? G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And real slow, this is a non-negotiable, so you have to know this. So kind of up close, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And this is really good for you because when I pull the chart away, you have to burn this in your brain. You have to commit this to memory. So let's build it and then let's play it. So this is what's going to really deepen your understanding. And I don't see really anyone on YouTube doing it like this. I used to do the static charts. I see a lot of guys and gals with static charts, but check this out. So watch this. We're going to build it here on the low E. There's our root note. And that's why I have that in red. So anytime you see me in a key, I'm always going to have the root note in red. Now the reason the A, B, and E are blue is that corresponds to when you build the chord from the scale. Those would be minor chords, okay? And then the 4 and 5 are green because they're going to be major chords. The 1 would have been green because it's major for sure, 1000%. But because it's the root, I always want you to know where the root is. So G, A, okay? And this is a pattern. And then we have B, and we have C, okay? See how we're building this out? And this is something you have to know. This is the blueprint for everything. D, 5, and then E, 6. This is where we build our melodies from. And then we have F sharp. And that's in purple because that would be the diminished chord when we built that one. And then we go back to G. I'm going to bookend it. So if we were to play that, it's G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay? Now that's very scaly when we do it like that, right? And just to kind of give you a better view, again, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Now, if I were you, I would do some like messing around with the scale to commit it to memory. Okay, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Say the notes. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Full major scale from G to G, from one octave to another, okay? Now what you can do is you can kind of noodle around in there constructively, purposefully, and create little lifts. Okay, now let me go back and talk about one thing. You guys have seen, I talk about muted strings. This is a drum set. So you're gonna notice a lot when I play that I do these little things where I'm not playing any notes. That's the most powerful thing you can do to internalize rhythm. So rhythm is king for now and forever. So watch. So when you notice, even when I'm playing melody, I'm going, see, I'm just hitting the root note there. Okay, now let's go back to the scale on the chart. One thing you can do is you can play like the G here and then maybe play the B. And this is what leads to playing melody out of scales, and this is what leads to playing chords, because you always have the G open chord right here. Now, we didn't fill out the whole chord. You just got to know that one. So, for example, if you look at this again, here's a G major open chord, right? So this is home. So you can start with that and see if you can just target this G and B. You got to walk before you can run, okay? So watch. Had some open strings ring out there, but that's okay. So do you guys kind of see what I'm doing there? How I'm playing the open chord, and I'm not trying to get all fancy and do the whole scale. You got to build up to that, okay? Because where most people fall apart is the connection of the melody to the harmony, to the chords to the scales. That's where you fall apart, but that's what we're going to hit in here. But that's why we're keeping it to 2 chords, okay? So if we go back to the chart, maybe you can try something where instead of hitting the root note first, maybe you hit the A and the B. And if you look at my fingers here, A and the B, right out of the scale, why would that be a good exercise? Well, because you're leading with your pinky, strengthening your pinky, hitting down here. So you kind of got a nice spread going on. So watch. Open chord. Do you see what we're doing there? So we're kind of like noodling around with that. Okay, so you see how powerful that is. You gotta like take your open chords, those will always be home, okay? G, now A minor, okay? We'll get to the A minor in just a minute, but let's see if we can keep building this out. So let's do this now. Let's go here, and what I wanna do is I want you to build 2 triads. And because we're doing G open chord and A minor open chord, we're gonna build a G triad and an A minor triad. Now they're not on the chart yet, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build them. Now watch how powerful this is. When you want to build a triad out of any major scale, when you start on a note, like we start on this G, we're gonna skip the next note, we take the B, we skip the next note, and we take the D. And now we gotta know where to put them. Now we're gonna do a triad on the D, G, B string set. My mom got really confused today when I talked about this. She plays too. I said, Mom, that's talking about the open strings. It's just a reference point. So watch, we put G here. Okay, that's your root. You put B here, and this is a G major triad, and you put D right here, okay? So let's go back to here, and what that essentially looks like is right here. You see this? G, B, D, G, B, D, G, B, D. And if I kind of give it this angle, G, B, D, G, B, D. It messes me up. G, B, D, G, B, D. So what I would do is do the open chord to the triad. G, another G. Now I did a lesson a little while ago. The part where people get really confused is when you play a G chord, you're playing 6 strings, right? And when you play a triad, it's only 3 notes. But you gotta realize in this G major open chord, you have a G, you have a B, you have an open D, an open G. I play another D and another G. You have 3, some of the tones repeat, I have 3 Gs, right? So we're stripping it down. This is the most powerful thing in music, triads, okay? And when you stick on this channel, if you're new, we'd love to keep you, okay? But watch how powerful this is. So there is our G major triad. You also need to commit that memory to shape on this string set. There's 12 of these major triad shapes across all the string sets. In fact, I have an ebook coming out on that at the end of the week that's gonna be amazing. Okay, you guys that know, vouch for me in the comments. Okay, so now let's go back and let's build our A minor triad, okay? Here's the beauty of this. We start on the A. Now, what did I tell you, the pattern? Watch how easy this is. This is like kindergarten stuff. Skip the B, pick the C. Skip the D, pick the E. Now all I do is I pull it right up here, okay? So I'm gonna do A. Now this is gonna do a little overlap here, okay? Because I want you to see this A, and then C, and then an E right here, okay? Now your eyes should be able to separate this, but for the sake of this, I'll pull this off just to kind of keep it clean, okay? G, B, D, I'll put it back. So there's your A minor triad, okay? So, and it looks like this, A, C, E. Oops, shake, it's jazz. C, A, C, E. So again, just to kind of give you a better view of that, look, A, C, E. Now, the chart's not up there. You should be able to memorize this. In fact, you have to memorize this. This is a non-negotiable skill to become a great guitarist, great musician. So watch, G, B, D, A, C, E. G, B, D, A, C, E, okay? So Now let's think deeper. What is something we could do with just the triads before we even add the scales and we really make music? And that's where it gets really fun, guys. It gets so fun. What could we do? And I'll get all this technical stuff, so bear with me. So many cameras, one mic, but so we could, instead of playing the root like this, okay? Let me go back over here. Oops, out of focus. Okay, so let's go back here. Instead of picking the root note first, going, what if we slid into the third of the triad? Right? And I'm even finger picking it. So I'm picking this note. Back to the root. To the root. Pick the third first. See, I had to even think about that for a little bit. So you see how powerful that is. So if we kind of put it back, I'll put the G major triad back. Okay, so the G is right here. Here's the root, okay? And then here's a B. And all of this is gonna like connect. One day you're gonna wake up and be like, oh my gosh, this is insane. I get all of this, okay? Because I don't wanna go down the rabbit hole too much, but if you were to look at GCE and you understood that that is a C major triad with an inversion, has the lowest note in the bass. And I know some of you are like, what's this guy talking about? But this is what I mean. There's a C chord right there just on that bar. See that? That's how powerful music is. Okay, so there's our two triads. There's an A minor shape and a G major shape. Now you need to understand that this is on the DGB string set, okay? This is on the DGB string set. And just one quick note, I only make the root from the scale we're in red, okay? I get it. Some of you might be like, well, why is the A not red? Because that's the root for an A minor triad. You'd be correct, but I don't want to mix it up too much because we are in the key of G. Now, if we were in the key of, you know, A minor and I did it like I built it from that scale down here, then we would do that. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Now let's go to the fun part, okay? Let's do this. Let's do this scale right here. Now what this is, let's go back here real fast. Just follow me for a second. Look at this G major scale. There's 7 notes, G, A, B. We have all of them, okay? And then we go back to G. So 8 notes, but G repeats. So it's a G major scale. You have it right down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now watch what happens when you make something a pentatonic, a G major pentatonic. We take away the 4th C and the 7th scale degrees, F sharp. So when I flip back to this other chart, I want you to watch how C and F go away. Penta, 5. We could only have 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then G repeats, so that just counts as 1 note. So watch this. When I go here, boom. So, what's the purpose of that? Well, we take away some of the tension because we don't have the B to C anymore. We don't have the F sharp to G. We don't have the half steps, okay? There's your tension. Now, it just is a cleaner version. A pentatonic's a stripped down, like leaner version of a major scale. This, in case it's a major pentatonic. So just run this. G, A, B, D, E, G, G, D, 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 D. Run that. One position of a G major pentatonic. And this is, everything's all over the neck. When you start to build this out and connect it in a musical way, not only will you feel super confident with your playing, it makes it so fun. So again, let's just go back to like a close-up. So keep this in mind. So that's a G major pentatonic, okay? G, A, B, D, E, and a G. So you could do G, A, B, D, E, G, A, B, D, G, A, G, A, B, D, E, G, E, D, B, A, G. Sorry about that, I'll slow down. And this is what it looks like. Take the chart away, test yourself. Okay, now let's do this without the chart. Now what could we do? Let's go back to that G open chord. We haven't even used A minor yet. I told you we're gonna go deeper. Let's do the G open chord. Now here's where people fall apart. When they go from a chord into a scale, their rhythm falls to pieces. Typically it sounds something like this. They're going like G, and they start thinking too much about the scale, and then they stumble, okay? Again, one more thing. This rhythm hand can never stop. Go instantly. your fallback, your safety net is going into those muted strings technique. We're not playing any notes. So if I started falling apart, I go like this, playing, fall apart, keep it going, get your bearings. Let's do that thing that we did earlier, slide into the A, B, and go to G. Okay, now I'm gonna kind of show you even more, okay? Don't run the scale in a scaling manner, make music. So watch this. So you kind of see how much fun that is when you kind of start putting it all together, when you go from a scale to a chord and you flow back and forth. You got to internalize rhythm. That's why this muted strings thing is so important. Okay, following me. I need a ton of feedback, guys. This is only like my third go with this kind of format, and it's getting better and better. We'll do live streams like this, and it's going to be amazing, okay? But you should have your guitar in your hands working on this. So let's do this. Let's go. We did that. There's our G major scale, okay? And here is our triads, G and A minor. And then here is our G major pentatonic. Now, here's where the A minor chord comes in. Okay, I'm going to slide over here. I actually got to keep it right there. This guy right here, this F sharp, okay? I'm going to put him there. Now, what this is if I run it, it's just a pattern. It's D Dorian. It's a mode. I know, don't run away. Don't turn me off yet, okay? All modes are just the same major scale repeating, starting from a different note. So in this case, we're going to start from A. We go A, B, C, okay? Oh, I put F sharp in the wrong spot. That looks great job, teacher. Sorry about that. Hey, man, I'm only human. What the heck, dude? Get out of there. Okay. Sorry, told you. Told you you're going to have to bear with me. There it is. Okay, see? Do I call that jazz? Okay, I didn't really play anything. That was the chart. Told you this was going to be fun. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. And again, I like to bookend it where I start, okay? Now, because the 2 chord is a minor chord, you could play this beautiful Dorian scale or G major starting from A. Just look. If you look, do you notice? Here's what you got to notice. If we start here, let's go down here and move the note so you can see it. If I go A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and I go back on A, did I play any notes that don't belong to G major? I sure didn't, but that's what a Dorian mode is. So you see, I'm starting on the 2, the 2nd degree, and if I run this pattern, that's just a G major scale, but the tonal center, I'm kind of emphasizing a minor sound. So what could we do with that? Let's do this. I'll keep the chart up and then I'll show you without the chart because I really want you to commit this to memory. So let's say I go G. Let's play the G chord. And I'm going to do the open chords in this case. I might do the triads. This is what makes music fun, okay? I'll do G, and then I will play a little lick out of here. Again, less is more. It doesn't mean I have to go every note and go with this. I'm not trying to cram in. I'm going for what my ears tell me sounds good. Then I'll do the A minor open chord. And heck, guys, I might just do the triad because I'm right here and it makes sense, since I'm right there, to just go do. Okay, so let's see what I can do. Let's just improvise. So G, A, now that was kind of scaly, but again, you got to start somewhere. G, A minor triad, to a G. Okay, and just to kind of pull the chart away, see what you remember. Watch, same thing, G. Can't even play an A minor chord, A minor triad. You can hear it pulling you back to G. That's your tonal, that's home, right? That's the 1 chord, so it's pulling you there. Now, let's do one more thing. Okay, let's do this. Let's try a thing where we do, okay, let's now see what you remember. Let's do the G open chord to the G triad. Let's do the A minor open chord to the A minor triad. Let's loop that for a little bit. Let's see then if we can take a piece of this G major scale right here. Remember the G major pentatonic, excuse me. You could, and listen, if you hit this F sharp or C and you're trying to just play this right here, okay, and we'll pull that F sharp out again, get rid of that guy, because there's no F sharp. If you do hit that in there, it's okay. It's just, you're gonna put a little more tension. So let's see if we can do a little jam on that. So I'll pull everything away, and just to review, G major chord, G triad, A minor chord, A triad, and then in G major pentatonic. Now if I get really brave, I might go into the D Dorian. But never think like that. Oh, D Dorian. It's just a pattern that you put into your toolbox musically. So we go G to the G triad, A minor open to A minor triad, G, do a little lick, G, little lick, A minor, See how I just kind of danced around the strings on that? So you guys, you see how powerful this is. This is what you got to do. This is what I mean in all those videos. I kind of had to, it took me a while to figure out how to get this better and better for you, because just having a static chart up on the screen, there's too much disconnect there. And I know I've played forever, so I forget, and I apologize that sometimes I move through stuff. So that's why as soon as something doesn't make sense, pause the video, put a comment, because it's going to help me make these better and better. Because I had to figure out how to get this camera working, and then how to get this working, and how to switch, and then build this scale and get these cameras on here, okay? And then build, do this, and then put all the notes on here, and then how to do this. But I'm fully committed to helping you guys do that. And just for funsies, since we're on this chart, let's do one more thing, okay? Just to challenge ourselves. Now, what you have to do to connect the fretboard, not memorize it, does you no good if you know where all the G's are, or you know where all the A's are. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying, here's what you do. You should be able to do this, okay? If I go back to that first chart, here's a G major scale. You need to recognize this as a pattern. So if we actually do it like this, the pattern is if I do fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That'd be the pattern 2, 4, 1, 3, 1, excuse me, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. So that pattern can go all the way up here. And if I know where my G is on the A string, it's the same exact pattern from the A string to the G string. Watch, G. This is a whole another full G major scale. G, A, okay? B, pull a C. Hopefully I don't run out of notes. Told you this is going to be an adventure. D, and then we've got E, and then we've got F sharp, and then we've got G. Now, why would I show you this? I'm cramming in a lot. I'm going deeper, but I'm only sticking to the same things. One scale, only 2 chords. 1 chord and then 2 chord. Now, if we look at my hand here, what I did is right here, here's the pattern. You should know 2, 4. I'll say the notes 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Same thing down here. Now, let me press you on something. Let me ask you a question. Drop in the comments. So now we're up here, focusing in this orange box right here. What are the 2 notes? Do you remember what 2 notes I could pull out of here to make this a G major pentatonic? So I should do 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 do. Okay, time's up. You pull away C. No, you don't pull that away. Told you this is G and F. I need like a person who just manages this. Okay, G and F sharp. So there we go. Now look, now you have the G major pentatonic. And when you play this, you should really listen for how when you pull those half steps out. When you pull this out, oh no, look out for that tritone. Okay. Okay, so when you kind of put the whole thing together, you just freestyle. So G, but now you know this triad, G major, you know this A minor triad, you know this G major pentatonic, you know the G major scale, you know this Dorian's pattern, which is just a rearrange. It's the same, it's a G major scale just starting on the A. See how it always goes home to G. You know the G major scale up here. You could just take the scales, right? If we go back here, you could just take all three of these scale patterns and weave these together rhythmically without even a chord in there. No. Get some intervals, distance between two notes, which in fact, in this case, I'm hitting this G and this B, okay? G and B. So you guys see how amazing that is? All right, hopefully, oh, what happened? Ooh, my kid. Look at that, the Sony died. I heard it can overheat. We went black. I'm here. Wait, where am I? Okay. Oh, there we go. I told you this is going to be an adventure, but trust me, this type of lesson is going to be like a game changer for everybody, okay? So let me know what in here made sense. What did you not know before the lesson started? What did you learn during the lesson? How's it going for you with this type of lesson? Do you like this format? We could do live streams like this where you can come in the chat and I got these charts and we can try stuff. You put your guitar in your hands. That's how you burn this in your brain. You got to burn it, burn it, burn it in your brain. It's a song I used to do with my first graders back in the day. All right, you guys drop jellyfish or your favorite sea creature in the comments. If you ever want me to like build any of these charts or anything, let me know. I'll figure this out. I did build these, so I can build them for you if you want them, but we'll kind of keep trying this new format. This is going to be amazing. Guitar takes forever, but if you do little things like this, like simplify, you didn't see, we didn't really use the G, B, and high E strings. We used the EAD, we anchored down, we connected stuff, we built stuff in real time. Well, it was in real time when I was recording this, but you know what I mean. All right, so you guys are amazing. Only you can stop you. Don't stop. I will see you in the next video. Peace.